Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. So, you want to learn how to throw knives? Come here. Now look, if you want to learn about throwing knives, it's pretty simple, but there are some key things you got to take into account. One of those is, what knife do you want to use? And number two, how do I throw it in the first place? And number three, you got to worry about wardrobe. Let's start with wardrobe. Wardrobe can be a key in a lot of things, but in this case, knife throwing, it does not matter. You can hit a target with no matter what you're wearing. So ball out, wear what you want to. Hawaiian shirt, pineapple shirt, I don't care. Next, let's focus on what knife we're going to use. I got a couple different options here. We're going to go through them. We're going to look at some good options. We're going to look at some bad options, and we're going to look at some great options. Option number one, this is your classic throwing knife. You can get at pretty much any sporting goods store. And to be honest, they're not great. Depending on what type of throwing you want to do, these may be a good option to get you started, but nowhere near the end. But at the end of the day, they'll always stick. Now, option number two, to be honest, it's about the same. These dingy little things don't carry enough weight to actually stick in something when thrown with just a little bit amount of force. Now, if you're a professional, of course, like myself, you can obviously get these to stick in. But if you're looking for something to start you off, don't do these little things. Now, our third option, once again, this is what your grandma gets you when she thinks you're into knife throwing. This is nothing. Doesn't have enough weight behind it, and really isn't good for any kind of grip that you would use with a throwing knife. Now, once again, a professional can get anything to stick in anything. But unfortunately, this is not going to cut it. Which brings us to our final option. This is the Ace Jet Hornet. In my opinion, the best kind of knife that money can buy. It's straight, but leaves plenty of room for grip, so you can throw it any way you want. And it's guaranteed to stick, even from the most novice of throwers. So in the final section of our tutorial here today, I'm going to be showing you all the different ways you can throw the knife, once again using the Ace Jet. Now, there are a couple different ways you can approach knife throwing. I'll give you my options, and then I'll give you some other options that you can try out by yourself. The first and my favorite is the single, no-spin, straight point. In order to do a throw like this, your index finger and your thumb with the rest of your fingers on the other side. The object here is to have a super loose grip, so that when you fling the knife and you let it go, it actually goes. If you're holding too tight, it may not go exactly where you want it to go, which is at that board. It's my favorite option, but let's move on to some other ones that you may see romanticized in a lot of films. First, we're going to go with the knife hold rotate. Now, this one is pretty simple. As you can see, we're holding the knife firmly in our fist at the bottom, where the pointy bit is. The whole object here, it should have one half rotation before it hits its target. This object would be using for throwing maybe something that's a little bit farther, but not like super far away. In a situation where we have something that's super far away, we would do the opposite. We would grasp it at the end in our whole fist, and again, the objective here is to have one single rotation before it hits the target. And obviously, the farther you are away from your target, the more rotations it's going to take to get there, but it's better to practice with just one. Now, as we reach the end of the video, I can only assume some of you are doubting my expertise in knife throwing. And for those people, all I gotta say is,